Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Other than that, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to go right back to the Just for Today and a meditation reading, and today it's titled Humility Expressed by Anonymity. And I have a hard time with that word, guys, so just bear with me. Humility is a byproduct that allows us to grow and develop in an atmosphere of freedom and removes the fear of becoming known by our employers, families, and friends as addicts. Many of us may not have understood the idea that anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions. We wondered, how could that be? What does it have to do with spiritual life? Well, the answer is plenty. By guarding and cherishing our anonymity, we earn spiritual rewards beyond comprehension. There is great virtue in doing something nice for somebody and not telling anybody about it. By the same token, resisting the impulse to proudly announce our recovery from addiction to the world, in effect asking everybody to acknowledge how wonderful we are, makes us value our recovery all the more. Recovery is a gift that we have received from a power greater than ourselves. Boasting about our recovery as if it were our own doing leads to prideful feelings and grandiosity. Keeping our anonymity leads to humility and feelings of gratitude. Recovery is its own reward. Public acclaim cannot make it any more valuable than it already is. And then the affirmation is, just for today, recovery is its own reward. I don't need to have mine publicly approved. I will maintain and cherish my anonymity. I did pretty good with that word, guys. Usually I trip on that word like you can't believe. We say it, it's in every reading every Friday, and it's just one of those words I have a hard time with. But you know what? If I'm going to be chairing the meeting soon, I'm going to have to get used to saying it, so this is a good opportunity. Guys, that's the thing. And it's a little counterintuitive for me to sit here and do this reading today because I've decided to make mine public. But again, as you all know, I'm not doing this for the accolades, and I'm quite honest, and I take accountability for all the horrible actions that I did out there. I'm not doing this for anybody's praise. I do this because it keeps my history in the forefront of my brain. Not that I'm dwelling on it, but it keeps me remembering where I come from so that I don't slip up and go backwards there. I'm not doing this because anybody's patting me on the back. This channel is nowhere near anywhere close to being monetized, and many of my videos get 4 and 5 views a day, guys. But I do this because I hope somebody else will get something out of it, and I'm hoping to help another addict along the way. That to me is maintaining the spiritual foundation, and it's just my form of service. And guys, it's beautiful, right? That's the thing. As you guys all know, one of the things I talk about the most is the biggest thing that has changed is how I feel about myself, my relationship with my higher power. And then because that is where I put my focus, things have gotten so much better in my life. And then opportunities, and of course I talk about this because that's what everybody kind of leads to, and it is a materialistic world, unfortunately. Not even unfortunately, there's nothing wrong with it. I gotta start saying that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with chasing security, wealth, prosperity, comfort, luxury, so long as you're doing so in the proper manner, right? You do so by being the best person you can. You find where your strengths are, you provide a service to other people, and then you reap the rewards of that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It is literally why, what our country is founded on, and why we're the best and the most wealthy country in the world, guys. I fully, wholeheartedly believe in capitalism, and I think it's a beautiful thing. And I love the fact that I'm finally in a position where I'm thriving and I'm expanding and I'm getting to places I never dreamed I was going to. Early on in life, I didn't think I was going to live long enough to be concerned with it, guys, and that's terrible. But again, that's because I never took the time to heal from the things as a kid. I was always acting out, and everybody said, "Oh, you're the craziest." And you guys probably gathered by now, I'm a pretty high energy person. It's funny. Marlene, if you're watching, hey, how you doing? It was I had the opportunity to do a job for a friend of mine who was in the program, and her father and their family's home. They had a plumbing issue, and the ceiling had come down, and the plumber had left a hole in the ceiling on the second floor rental unit. My friend asked me if I'd come take a look at it, so I got a chance to go over and take a peek. I know them because I used to work right across the street, so I've been, kind of, friends, acquaintances with them prior to recovery because I'd be out there all the time. I do, plowing the driveway and again, but my friend and I had become good friends through the program, and then as a matter of fact, we met in AA, and then found out that we'd known each other in our former life, and anyway, I'd seen her father many, many times. Many times I'd blocked his driveway with my truck and I'd move it and I'd apologize. And super nice guy, and I plow for them in the winter. And anyway, the plumber had just left this gaping hole in their ceiling and, kind of left it on their own, which is fairly common enough. Anyway, they asked me to come by and take a look. And rather than just patching the hole, the entire ceiling had been compromised. So I'm like, you know what? The right thing to do is to go ahead and just take it down. And he told me what he'd like done with the ceiling. It was something very easy for me to do, so I got a chance to go over and meet her father today, and hell of a nice guy. I had a great opportunity to do a job. Went incredibly well. The gentleman was very happy with my work. As a matter of fact, when I gave him my bill, he literally paid me 2.5 times what I asked. But guys, that's what I love about my life today, guys. And of course, I very much enjoyed going over to a friend through the program's house and showing what sobriety has done for me. Her father clearly had seen me. Him and I were talking, and I didn't get into any detail with my history because I just met the gentleman. But even he had said, "Jesus Christ, you were just a little guy when you were across the street," is how he put it. And he said, "You look really good today." And I was like, "Good for you," And I said, "Yeah." So clearly, I'm doing a lot better today, and that's why I've left that job and I've started my own thing. And then what? The guy ended up asking me for business cards and wants to help me build a right. Like it's the way things go today, guys, because of the spiritual principles I've applied in my life. It has changed the person that I am. Whereas before, it was all about the only thing I could think about is getting that next fixed and doing a quick job to make some quick cash. Today, as I'm walking out of there, I'm like, what's the least amount I can possibly charge and justify this because they're friends. And I'm not trying to, I don't have to go out and like, I'm in a good position today. I can go out and do jobs and just charge for the materials. And, I was only there an hour. It was nothing. It was not a big deal at all. And it was a joy. And I built a new relationship with a guy who's a hell of a nice guy, and it felt really good, guys. This is the beauty of life and sobriety. When your mindset comes, and that's the thing, guys, when you work a sobriety program and you work spiritual principles into your life, your what matters to you will change drastically for the better. And I love that about myself today because I'm no longer concerned with chasing every dollar. And that's the thing, guys, I don't chase work anymore. I don't chase money anymore. And because of that, I'm sitting on more money than I ever have in my life. If you took all the money I had in the last 15 years and combined it all, I've got more in the bank today than I did at than if you added it all together during that time. Because I'm not out there chasing money. I'm out there just trying to be the best person I can. Make the biggest positive impact everywhere I go. Stand out in every crowd. Grow my business the proper way without just by word of mouth. Like, I don't have to advertise. I don't have to buy t-shirts with my name on. I don't have to put ads online because my customers talk about me to other people. And then like, oh, I got to call this guy. Oh, hey, I need something done. Guys, there's no shortage of work out there if you're willing to do it and you're willing to do things to your best of your ability. And then when you start applying spiritual principles into your life and becoming that best version of you, it just gets easier and easier. And the thing is, guys, as you do these things day in and day out, you will find your principles change so much better. I enjoy making other people understand there's still good people. Like, I enjoy being one of the good people left in the world today, right? Like, I love that today. I love that. And, I'm sorry, this whole thing started, Jesus, I want to sidetrack with that. It was comical that as we were getting, I was doing the job and my friend stopped up to say hi before she took off for where she was going. And her father's like, Jesus, hey, how's it going? Her father's like, Jesus Christ, I got to ask this guy to slow down. And we had a good laugh. She goes, yeah, that's just how Pat is. He's pretty high energy. And I love that today, guys. I'm 52 years old, and I still feel like I'm 30. Just to share more, as you guys know, I go to the gym, and and prayer and meditation, and I eat healthy. Well, as these things have become my new norm, and as I share pretty openly, I've put on just about 50 pounds now since I've started the recovery process. So obviously I'm not moving quite as freely as I used to because I'm carrying 50 pounds more. And yeah, granted it's mostly muscle, but still there's a lot of lack of movement that comes with that. And I'm out here working every day. So that's been a concern of mine. And not that not that it's limiting me, but I can see it happening, and I don't want to be limited. So it's just one more opportunity for me to add something else into my routine now that I'm stabilized and I feel comfortable with where I'm at. So I signed up for a 12-week Tai Chi program that started on Monday. Yes, Monday. So today was the third day of it, and I'm having a great time with it, guys. And again, still I'm in the early stages of it, so I'm just getting started. But I will say this: the day one it was so awkward because it's just fluid of movement that I don't have, and particularly because I'm putting on more weight now. By the third day, I'm noticing that I'm already getting so much more fluid with the exercises. I'm moving with a little bit more ease. It's supposed to be really good for sleep, and that's something I struggle with. I've got to start going to bed earlier, but I also tend to wake up throughout the night a lot, and that's something new in my sobriety. I don't know what it is, and it's not overly taxing because when I'm overly tired, I'll sleep in, and I try to make But I am busier today, so instead I can't often sleep until 9 o'clock during the week anymore. I've got jobs, and I'm scheduling more. My days are getting much more full. I'm getting much better at time management, but I do require myself to be up at 6 o'clock every morning and out of bed. So the idea of anything that's going to allow me to sleep better is obviously very appealing. But guys, it's because as you work a recovery program, you want to work on all areas of your life, and that's what I've done. That's what's making me so incredibly happy today. That's what's making me proud of myself, and I suspect why things are going so much better today. Because instead of just abstaining from using drugs, I healed from the things that brought me to addiction. I started getting introspective and looking at my behaviors that even outside of addiction, but where addiction had spilled over and changed my behaviors with my relationships, the fact that I cut out all the positive relationships because I just couldn't face anybody that I actually cared for, and was forced to lie to them constantly. It ate at me. So I would chase them all away or just disappear. I don't have to do that today, guys. Like I talked about, I think probably 2 or 3 weeks into starting this channel, we started a group text between my brothers and my sister. Now, we grew up in a very splintered, fractioned family. My father died when I was 12. My mother took the insurance money and split, and there was a lot of other shit that goes on with that. I mean, think about the dysfunction in that, right? So as much as we all loved each other, we all kind of went our own ways, and we dealt with things in our own way. And like I would talk to my sister, and I hadn't seen my brother Michael in 20 years, even though there was nothing. We never had a disagreement. We had a problem with each other, but just such different lifestyles that we just never kept any interaction. My brother Matthew, I would reach out to when I was in early recovery, and that was about it. Because other than that, I would fail and stop doing. Well, because I'd started this channel, my sister and my brother Matthew, when they found out about it, started a group thread to get everybody to watch and sign up for my channel back when I had like 2 or 3 subscribers, and we started a group chat, and we've managed to keep that going every single day since then. So we're on like 225 days straight of talking throughout the day. We just text and laugh and joke and say good morning and say good night, and I've got my family back, guys, and that's amazing. Like my brothers and my brothers all got together, and we celebrated my birthday for the first birthday that I've celebrated in, God, since I was 30, I think. Honestly, yeah, 52, so 22 years. Like the gifts that start coming when you change your behaviors, your principles, change what matters for the better. When you start trying to be part of the solution, when you start working a spiritual recovery program, it is nothing short of shocking, and it's not about kind of thing I talk about all the time. Like I throw examples out there as limited as possible because I don't like to. I don't want to come off as braggart. I want to maintain my anonymity, but at the same time, I want to encourage everybody out there that if you're struggling, just keep going, dive deeper. If you're getting results, then you're probably doing effort. Look at it honestly. I'm not saying that to call you out. I'm saying it to give you clarity. I want you to understand, because if you give this program everything you have, and that's the difference today, guys. It's something I ponder often, because I used to sit there and look at the people that were doing really well in recovery and be like, wow, what do they have that I don't? And I never knew at the time because I wasn't willing to be honest with myself. Was the difference was the willingness, the fact that they were working their recovery program to the best of their ability. As simple as that. I've noticed that every single person I meet that works the recovery program to the absolute best of their ability, like goes out of their way to be a part of it, their lives improve dramatically, like shockingly so. And I'm honored to be amongst those people today, guys. And that's why I get on here and share this with you every day. Guys, you gotta take the accountability. But there's the thing. There's power in taking accountability. It's not about being blamed. It's not about shame. It's not about remorse. You gotta let those things go too. You've got to get yourself in a position where you're positive and you're upbeat and you're enjoying your life and you're living a life and you're working towards a life that you actually want to live so that you can stay engaged. And then you got to start taking leaps of faith and believing in yourself and believing that you have worth and that you're worth it and that you're capable of things. Guys, I do so much today that I would never have done before because if it wasn't, and as much as I know how skilled I am, I was too afraid. I couldn't give things my focus. I didn't have the clarity. I didn't have the dexterity. I was just, withering away because I was rotted by drugs. 8 months in, and things have gotten so much better that the things I'm able to do professionally today are shocking. And it's funny. It's something that comes up all the time because I see people and they're like, "What is it you do?" And I start telling them like, "Really? Like, guys, I fix cars, I fix trucks, I fix motorcycles, I fix heavy equipment. I do, appliance repair. I do plumbing. I do heating. I do electrical. I do remodeling. I do carpentry. I do a little bit of finished carpentry. I do drywall. I do plaster. I do tile. And I do all of it professionally. And I'm able to compete professionally at all these things. Like most people are so very compartmentalized. I love the fact that I'm not. And it's because I believe in myself and I'm giving myself the chance. And if I go out, and the thing is, guys, I cover my bases. Before I go and take on a job that I'm being paid to do, I make sure that I understand what's involved, and then I know how to do it. And if I make a mistake, I eat it and I fix it. Fortunately, that really hasn't been a big problem today, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. But guys, it's about doing the right thing whether somebody's looking. And anonymity is doing the right thing whether somebody's looking or not, and that's what we're talking about here today. And that's something you've heard me say umpteen times, day in and day out, because it makes the difference, guys. It's where so many of these rewards are coming in, because it changes your behavior to putting being good your baseline. When you're doing the right thing, not because somebody's looking and you think you get a reward out of it, because you're doing it for yourself and it makes you feel good, that's where everything changes, guys. That is the most powerful position. It allows you to live in a state of gratitude. It allows so many opportunities to open, doors of opportunity to open for you. It just changes everything, and it starts and ends with you. Give yourself a shot, guys. Every one of you are worth it. Every one of you are capable of amazing things if you put your mind to it. If you have the willingness to chase sobriety the way you chase addiction. Simple as that. Guys, that's the lesson for today. Thank you so much for being here. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.